Is your band at a disadvantage compared to other band programs? Probably. Welcome to a 4-part mini-series where we're going to talk about the 4 main areas of inequity in American band programs. Episode 1, school size. Now when I say school size, I'm not talking about band size, I'm talking about school size. The two are definitely correlated. If you have 100 people in your school, you're probably going to have a different size band than if you have 2,500 people in your school. Now every middle school is a little bit different. Some are 5th through 8th grade, some are 6th through 8, some are just 7 and 8. So for the purposes of our discussion today, we're going to talk about school size as it relates to the number of kids per grade level. And we're going to use these ranges to define those. School size is something I don't think people talk about enough, and it is a really important factor to what you can and can't do with your band. In fact, if your school is big enough, you can brute force most problems that face most band programs. What do I mean by that? Let's take scheduling, for example. The more kids that are in your school, the more flexible your schedule could potentially be. So for example, my school, we have about 200 kids per grade level, which means in 8th grade, there's not really enough kids to make more than one Latin class. There's only enough kids interested in Latin to just have it for one block. So we don't have a teacher who is hired here to do that. We bring in the high school Latin teacher to come teach that for one block. Now, since it's only available for one block, that means if I put a band class during that block, those kids would have to choose between Latin and band. Now, if you had a school that had 600 kids per grade level, then you probably have enough kids interested in Latin that you could offer multiple sections of it, and thus eliminating some of the scheduling conflicts. Another thing that larger schools tend to do that's really advantageous is they usually have enough people that they're able to offer differentiated groups. I'll never forget my first time going to VMEA, our state conference, and I saw this middle school band that was incredible, and I remember reading in their program, it said this is the top of our 3 8th grade bands, and everyone in the top band is required to take private lessons. Oh, also, and they start in 5th grade and not 6th grade. Oh, and also, they're in the wealthiest county in America. Now, the band director, total baller, absolute legend, and I learned a ton from that band director. However, that school was set up with like every possible advantage compared to the situation that a lot of middle school band directors find themselves in. Let's look at another aspect of scheduling. Even if you're on the worst band schedule possible, and that is going to get its own video, but the worst band schedule possible is once a week, right? So if you have a school of 1,500 people, you can say, cool, if you want to be in band, you're going to have to commit to 2 after-school rehearsals a week in addition to your 1 class of band a week. So you have 3 rehearsals a week. And in a school of 1,500, you'll probably have enough kids who could do that you'll be able to have a fully formed band and make that work. If you're at a school that only has 150 people, you're not going to have enough kids who are going to be able to commit to 2 days a week that you're going to be able to have a band if you make that a requirement.